What's up, everyone? My name is Austin Dorman, and I'm a certified funnel builder and ClickFunnels ambassador. And today we got a special guest with us today. He is the director of product engineering at ClickFunnels, and he's an awesome guy that we're going to get to know. So help me in welcoming Rob Schwartz to the stage. How are you doing, Rob?
Hey, good morning, Austin. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to kind of jump right into it and kind of pick your brain on what you do. And so maybe that's the first question is, as the director of product engineering at ClickFunnels, what exactly do you do? And then also too, if you could share a little bit about your background as well, like how did you jump into engineering and come into ClickFunnels?
Yeah, so I'll start with my background. I'll get into it that way. Um, I'm not a classically trained engineer. I didn't take engineering in university or college. It was just kind of something that always interested me. But I started as an engineering recruiter, so I would go and help engineers find jobs, right? Find better opportunities, and just as I was going through it, I did that for a couple of years, and there was one day where I'm like, these candidates really love what they do. They love their job. And I really liked my job. I was good at it. But I'm like, I kind of want to know what they do. I want to know more about how they do it so I can find them better jobs and put them in better positions. So I asked the candidate in mind, like, where can I start learning about this? Right? Where can I start just teaching myself how to code? So he gave me some free resources. And once I jumped in, I got hooked. Like I was in. So I started doing that, and I started building just simple websites and things like that. Um, and then, I mean, to make a long story short, I quit my job. I went to a boot camp. I learned how to code. And since I was a tech recruiter, I had contacts in the industry. I was able to get myself a job within 2 weeks of finishing the boot camp, and three of my cohort members like the same job. We built like a little cohort in a startup, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. And then from there, I just kept on growing and learning until I kind of you kind of hit this path in engineering when there's kind of two roads you could take. You can go down the road of like management, or you can go down the road of becoming a principal like engineer, right? Like the head of engineering and things like that. Um, I decided to go down the more management route because it kind of merged my skills from sales and recruiting and being a people person to just understanding the things that engineers go through, right? The struggles that they deal with, the process that they have, and things of that sort. So I thought management was more like a better path for me. Um, and then from there, I was at a company before ClickFunnels called WeSpire, which was an employee engagement software focused on like purpose and impact. And I got a call one day from a recruiter. It's funny, just the full circle of it. That now I'm the candidate, right? Like now I was the candidate. So I got a call from a recruiter like, hey, there's this really cool opportunity at a company called ClickFunnels. I'm like, ClickFunnels? Like, what is that? Never heard of it. I'm like, nah, I'm not interested. He's like, just check them out. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go to their website. I want to see what they're about. And I watched I think on the website at the time was FHL, was like a video of FHL. I'm like, this looks awesome. Like this looks nuts. If this is the community they built, if these are the people using the software, I'm like, and I can be behind that, that seems really cool. So, I took the interview, I got the job, and that's what it's been since. I've been here for a couple of years now, and every moment has been an adventure, and it's been awesome.
That's so cool. Do you have a memorable moment at ClickFunnels? Maybe something that you've kind of like cherished or experienced while working there?
There's a couple. I remember my first FHL. Like that was mind blowing. It was in Orlando. It was FHL, I guess 9, right? And that was in
Yeah.
Orlando, and just like it was massive. I've been to conferences before, but nothing like this. Like with the lights and the sounds and like everyone like high-fiving and people screaming and the rush to this chairs, like it was mind-blowing that people were so excited to get to the front of the room to just see everyone on stage. It was so cool. So that was like that kind of that impacted me a lot because I saw the community around ClickFunnels, and now I have the opportunity to help this community be successful. Right? That was kind of where my mind shifted, where I was like, all right, I have an important job. I need to make these people money and successful and change people's lives. So that was a pretty memorable moment for me.
Yeah, and for those that are listening, Funnel Hacking Live, it was a annual event where all these entrepreneurs, there's thousands of them, like between, I think the last one was between 5 to 7,000 people, all in just one place, like-minded individuals, where they're able to learn from other successful entrepreneurs and about business, marketing, mindset, and everything. And they kind of put it on pause for right now, so hopefully they'll bring it back. Fingers crossed that they do. At least I'm hoping, but we'll kind of see what happens next.
Yeah, right now I know the plan is smaller, more direct meetings. Like I think they announced it at FHL 10 what the plan is for next. And I know Russell's building a whole library and a whole event space in Boise. And then we do these smaller events called FHL Connect. Right. I'm not sure if you were at the one in Los Angeles, but that was kind of like a
Yep.
pilot of just like bringing a smaller group that we can make kind of more like a direct impact on. Right. And that was also a really fun experience for me because they asked me to speak about my experience just using ClickFunnels and what I'm doing there. And it was cool speaking. It was like, I'm not a public speaker. I'm not, right? But it was just so natural, like talking about the things I'm working on because I actually use the product. But what was really cool is afterwards we had this breakout session, right? I ran a session on stores. And this is kind of like how we map our product at ClickFunnels is like those breakout sessions gave us so much valuable feedback of how the actual customers, how our ambassadors, our influencers are using the product and that what they need from it. Right? We can I mean we're a group of people that use the product and know the product, but the most valuable feedback we get is from people actually using it. You guys might be using it in a completely different way than we think of. So that was really, really cool to see and really valuable. So those are the type of events that we want to continue doing.
Yeah, and I was there at that ClickFunnels Connect that you mentioned in California, and I have to say, as a participant of ClickFunnels Connect, it was so awesome to just meet everyone there. I love meeting the employees at ClickFunnels. They're fantastic. But it's really cool how you guys took our feedback to heart, and it felt like we were being heard and listened, and like ever since then there's been some like really awesome and cool features that have been released. And so maybe just kind of piggybacking off of that event, that ClickFunnels Connect event, what I would really love to focus on, Rob, is kind of how do you tackle big projects and challenges? I know ClickFunnels, there's all these different apps. You mentioned the store app. There's surveys, there's email marketing that you could do. There's just so many apps, and it's kind of this thing of like each app could literally be its own software business, and so love to hear how do you tackle big projects and challenges. And then that's part one. Part two is also how do you have this engineering mindset, and you could kind of take that however way you like to. You could share past experiences. What does it mean to you? But yeah, I'd love to kind of dive into that about how do you tackle these big projects and challenges, and also how do you build and develop this engineering mindset?
Yeah, tackling big projects. It's one where you really just need to understand the scope of the project, right? There's something called an MVP, the minimum viable product, right? That when we have these massive projects, we need to really just focus on, because we do get feedback from the community and then we build something, but we don't want to get too far down the road building the wrong thing, right? So what we'll do is we'll build the MVP of a product, and then what I like to do is go to people that I have connections with and say, hey, do you mind beta testing this for me? Right? Like, go use the product and let me know what's great about it, what's not great about it. because that happens. And then we have to just bring it back to the drawing board, which is totally fine. We're not going to get everything right at the first time. But that's what we'll do. We'll like build something that we can give to a trusted group of people, and they'll beta test it. They'll give us really good feedback, and then we'll move it forward from there. I mean, we kind of have cheat codes at ClickFunnels also. We have Russell Brunson and Todd Dickerson, which they know the market like the back of their hand. They know exactly what people want, what they need, and how to be successful with tools we're giving. So we kind of rely on them a little bit also. And Andrew Culver also has like a really good product mind. He has successful businesses he's sold. So the direction we get from those people is also really valuable. But yeah, it's trying not to get too far ahead of ourselves. So it's just making sure we plan the product, we plan the project appropriately and get the feedback at the points when we should. So that's how we build that. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was about to say, no, I love that where you really have to dial in the scope of the project first. You have to know exactly like what's the problem you want to solve, and then kind of like, how should I say, almost like take that apart and like do different steps and stuff. And I really, one thing that I really found really interesting, just like hearing you listening about this, it's almost kind of this like entrepreneurial mindset as well of just, hey, let's get something out there, let's test it, let's see like how the market responds to it, and then taking the feedback, whether it's good or bad, and then taking it back and then building it on, or maybe even like pivoting a little bit. So it's almost, it's a marketing software to help entrepreneurs, and it's like you're using that kind of entrepreneur like framework or like step by step to like build and launch these features, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, you brought up a really good point, and just the word entrepreneur clicked something for me, because at ClickFunnels we promote our employees to be entrepreneurs, right? Go use the product, get into the shoes of our customers, and go win a 2 Comma Club award. Like do it yourself, do it while you're here. It's one thing to be just like work at a company, right? Like, yeah, I'm building a thing, I'm building a product. Do you use it? Well, not really. I love using ClickFunnels for my projects. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Like before I was an engineer, but I mean, the truth is, like, I know I gave the whole story about why I got into engineering, but I have a big family. I have 5 brothers, and like just growing up, we would always like throw around crazy ideas of like things we wanted to build. And when I became an engineer, I was like, now I can build it. Right now, like we can have these crazy ideas, but I can go build them, which was really cool. And that kind of prepped me for ClickFunnels of being this entrepreneur. And now like all the different tools we're offering, I'm like, all right, we offer courses. What kind of course can I come up with to use ClickFunnels to see what people are running into, right? So that's kind of how my mind works with the product, with the features that we're delivering, and just like working at ClickFunnels in general.
Yeah, that's awesome. And maybe let's dive a little bit more into this engineering mindset, where I know you mentioned it a little bit, where it's like, oh, how can I use ClickFunnels to build, something for myself? It's super awesome that they actually have employees. They encourage employees to use the software, be entrepreneurs themselves. So yeah, I would love to kind of pick your brain on what does it mean for you what does it having an engineering mindset mean to you, and also how do you develop it? How do you keep it sharp?
Yeah,
maybe diving a little bit into that.
Sure. So an engineering mindset to me is I have a problem. How do I solve it? Right? Like, what kind of pieces can I put together to make this a reality? All right. It's to me, it's like a puzzle. Like you can see the picture of the puzzle, but you have all these little pieces. How do I put them together in the best way possible to make the puzzle, to make the picture? Right. But one of the things that kind of shifted for me at ClickFunnels is from an engineering mindset to a product engineering mindset. Right. ClickFunnels has all these puzzle pieces, that can help you build the bigger picture. We have funnels, we have courses, community, emails, surveys, stores, all these different things. Even like our affiliate center, which is incredible. You can literally run your whole affiliate program on ClickFunnels. Not many people know that, but you can do that. You can like cancel, like I don't want to call anybody out. You can cancel your other service and start saving. Sorry, I have to go into this small tangent, but I've been working on the affiliate center for a long time. We use it internally at ClickFunnels, and it's working great. And when I kind of do some product research to see what our other tools are offering, it's hard to not say we blow them out of the water because they have like a cap of how many affiliates you can have, how much commission you can pay out, how many campaigns you could run. We are unlimited. Like we do not put a cap on that. And it all comes like with your ClickFunnels subscription, which is really cool, I think. Anyway, tangent over. I just think it's, if you're running an affiliate program and you have ClickFunnels, just do it there. Cancel your other one, save some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the product engineering mindset, it's how, like I was saying, we have all these puzzle pieces of ClickFunnels. How do you put them all together? So when I'm working on a feature, I'm not only thinking about my feature, I'm thinking about how it connects to all the other features that we offer, right? And how it makes sense. So it's about just understanding the full picture of what we're building. And when I say full picture, I don't mean just the feature. The feature is a puzzle piece. The picture is ClickFunnels, right? It's your whole workspace and your whole process of collecting leads, turning those leads into paying customers, generating the most value out of your leads, building loyal customers, and how to do that within the different tools that we offer. So that's kind of how I think about it. And how I stay sharp is just by using it. Right. I know at Connect, I presented a product that that I was kind of promoting. And so to jump into that a little bit, I was part of the team that helped put ZenDrop together, right? We offer stores, we offer ways for you to sell things online. But for those of you that don't know what to sell, there's ZenDrop. ZenDrop is a marketplace of thousands and thousands of products that you can import into ClickFunnels, and it's a drop shipping platform where if you make an order on ClickFunnels, it sends it directly to ZenDrop. ZenDrop will fulfill your order. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to do anything. You just have to run ads and traffic to your website. So again, I put my feet in the shoes of the customers, and I was like, all right, what can I sell? At the time, while I was building this project, we just had a new baby. I have 4 girls. So
Awesome.
I thought it was going to be a boy, but 4 girls is great. So I remember that. So we just had the new baby, and we had some friends over for dinner one night, and my wife was breastfeeding the baby, and while we had friends over, she goes and she pumps milk and gives the baby a bottle. So I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, she used to go into, I still remember clearly the scene. She went into one of the older kids' rooms. She left the lights off for privacy. She closed the door also, but like just in case. I don't know why she didn't sit on a bed. She sat on the floor to a plug that was close by, and she pumped. And I remember like just checking in on her, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, there has to be a better solution. So I did some research, and I did find that there is a whole market for wireless breast pumps. And I went on ZenDrop. I'm like, I wonder if they have them. And they did. They had them on ZenDrop. So I'm like, this is my story. This is what I'm going to use to see how the product works, to make sure that what we're offering aligns with what our customers need. And I didn't do this just like thinking I knew what I was doing. Luckily, ClickFunnels offers incredible training for anything that you want to do. So and luckily enough, I work at ClickFunnels and I have free access to all this stuff. So I took Trey Llewellyn's OFA ecom training, and I literally binged it. It was awesome. Like, it was like a Netflix show for me. It's like I went through it, and then I took notes, and step by step, I went through his training, and I found my product. It aligned with what he taught, and then I built the website, and I came up with all the things, and I launched. And it was awesome. It was just really fun going through that whole experience of, we promote OFA, go watch it, go learn from an expert, from a multi-millionaire genius, like how to set up your store so you can't fail. So I did that, and it gave me really good insight to what we teach, what we offer, and are they aligned, right? Are the teachings and the product aligned? There were some things that were missing. So I brought it back to the team and we filled those gaps. So yeah, that's kind of my product engineering mindset.
That's awesome. And I really love how you talked about like how to stay sharp is just by using it. It's like, oh yeah, I use the product for myself to promote other things. And I know Rob mentioned he mentioned ZenDrop, he mentioned ClickFunnels, he mentioned OFA, and we'll put all those links down in the description of the video and also the podcast as well. So if you ever want to check out, start your free trial of ClickFunnels, you could do that. If you want to build kind of like what Rob did, a drop shipping store with ClickFunnels, we'll also put the ZenDrop link. And then OFA, that stands for One Funnel Away. It's a 10-day challenge where you could basically build a business in 10 days using ClickFunnels as the main platform. So really awesome resources, and we'll make sure that we'll give it out to everyone. Just to kind of wrap it up, I want to see if you had maybe any other like thoughts or experiences that you'd like to share, or maybe any, or possibly like any advice to aspiring engineers or entrepreneurs.
I mean, I'd love to think I'm Russell Brunson, but I'm not. Right? My advice is to watch his videos. I have two screens here. On this screen over here, I'm watching his 100 sales a day challenge. And every time I watch something of his, I learn something new and I take something else away. So that's what I would do. I would watch from the experts, right? I'm not an expert. Go watch from them. But one of the things that I would encourage anybody listening, if you're using ClickFunnels, reach out, right? My email is rob@clickfunnels.com. I would love to hear from you, how you're using the product, how you're finding success with it, what you think we could do better, anything of that sort. One of the things that I most enjoy about my job is talking to customers. I really, really enjoy it. It's like the fuel to my fire. Getting the feedback and talking to people about how they're using it in the ways that we're not thinking about is really like it's awesome to me. And then also just like, yes, there are issues, like it happens. Like with any software, there's going to be issues. Reach out with your issues also. And I love fixing them. I can bring them to the team and I can help, work through them. Some people just don't know, how to do A or B or C. And I'm happy to jump on a call with anybody and kind of walk you through it. So
that's awesome. You're so nice, Rob. But yeah, that's all the questions I had. And so thank you so much for your time, for sharing the stories. It's so awesome getting to know you and also all the other people at ClickFunnels as well. They're all fantastic. I love talking to them, love meeting them. But that's it for today. So like I mentioned, I'll put links to start your free trial at ClickFunnels down in the description. I'll put links to ZenDrop, One Funnel Away, and everything. It'll all be there. So until next time, thank you so much, Rob, for letting me interview you and for letting my audience get to know you as well. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you, Austin, for inviting me and trusting that I can help deliver value to your audience. So thank you.
Hey, awesome. Well, until then, we'll see you next time.